Have you ever wondered what's actually moving the world forward beyond the noise of politics and conflict? In today's update, I've gathered 8 powerful news stories you probably didn't hear about, but absolutely should. From brain-reading tech breakthroughs to penguins making a comeback in Antarctica, stick around until the end, because I'll share a bonus tip on how to spot global trends before they explode. Perfect for anyone who wants to stay ahead of the curve. If you're into smart, fast, and signal over noise content, hit that follow button right now. This is where you get the edge without the clutter. These stories will help you see what's really changing in the world, with facts, science, and optimism that matter to your life. While headlines often focus on politics and pop culture, there's a silent shift happening in labs and research centers across the United States. And it could reshape the future of innovation. Over the past year, top-tier scientists, engineers, and AI researchers have begun leaving the US in growing numbers. The reason? A combination of funding cuts to institutions like the National Science Foundation, visa limitations on foreign talent, and a perceived lack of long-term support for fundamental research. Countries like Canada, Germany, and South Korea are now offering aggressive incentives, guaranteed lab space, higher research budgets, and easier immigration pathways. For the first time in decades, the US is no longer the automatic top choice for global scientific minds. Why does this matter to you? Because the very breakthroughs that shape our daily lives, from cancer treatments to clean energy, climate models to AI ethics, depend on the talent that builds them. If that talent leaves, so does the progress. Stick with us, because in the next story, we'll shift from what we're losing to what we're discovering, starting with a headset that reads your thoughts. Imagine typing an entire sentence, without touching a keyboard or saying a word. That future just got closer. A research team at MIT has unveiled a revolutionary brain-computer interface that translates human thoughts into written texts, with up to 94% accuracy in lab conditions. Unlike older models that required bulky headsets or surgical implants, this new device uses non-invasive sensors placed around the scalp and jaw. It detects subtle signals in the brain's motor cortex, the area activated when you think about forming words, and turns those thoughts into digital text in real time. At first glance, it may sound like science fiction. But for people with conditions like ALS, stroke paralysis, or locked-in syndrome, this could be a game changer. Imagine being able to speak to your loved ones again, or write an email just by thinking. And it doesn't stop there. Researchers believe this tech will eventually evolve into seamless human-AI collaboration. We're talking about the potential to control smart homes, search the internet, or even compose music with nothing but your thoughts. Coming up next, we shift from thoughts to visuals, as Apple's newest device brings spatial computing to everyday life. Don't miss it, it's official. Apple has begun shipping the Vision Pro 2, and early users are calling it more than a headset. They're calling it a portal. A portal into an entirely new way of working, playing, and even thinking. Unlike the first version, which was met with mixed reactions, this new model comes with major improvements in comfort, performance, and visual fidelity. The field of view has been widened, the headset itself is lighter and more balanced, and the eye tracking is now nearly instant. But the biggest shift, it's no longer about escaping into virtual reality. It's about bringing your digital world into your physical space. Through spatial computing, users can now pin apps and content to different corners of their real life. Environment edit videos while looking out your window, scroll through emails, floating in midair, or collaborate with colleagues across the globe in shared 3D workspaces. For creatives, this means new Freedom Sketch in midair, prototype designs in 3D, or edit immersive media with your hands. For professionals, it's redefining productivity. And for everyday users, it might just be the first step toward a future where your phone becomes irrelevant. Stick around, because next we dive into the animal kingdom, and a surprising success story that's buzzing with life. In a world where headlines often shout about extinction and environmental loss, this next story offers a rare and refreshing twist. Good news about bees. In the UK, a collaborative conservation effort has quietly sparked a remarkable recovery. Over the past year, more than 500 smart beehives were installed across historic British estates and heritage parks. And the results have been extraordinary. These high-tech hives monitor temperature, humidity, hive activity, and even bee mood through vibration sensors. With this data, caretakers can act quickly to address threats like mites, temperature drops, or colony stress, often before visible symptoms emerge. Thanks to these interventions, local bee populations have increased by 40%, reversing declines that many feared were irreversible. Why does this matter? Because bees don't just make honey, they pollinate over 70% of the food we eat, from apples and almonds to coffee and chocolate. Their well-being is deeply tied to ours. By placing hives in protected natural spaces, far from pesticides and heavy development, conservationists are creating safe havens that may become templates for other countries. Up next, we head far south for another ecological surprise, one that waddles, slides, and thrives against all odds. Not every story from the polar regions has to be grim. While melting ice and rising temperatures still threaten many ecosystems, a new study using drone and satellite imaging has delivered an unexpected dose of hope. Multiple emperor penguin colonies in remote parts of Antarctica are not just surviving, they re-thriving. Researchers expected to find shrinking numbers after several years of climate disruption. But what they discovered instead were previously undocumented nesting sites. Population increases in stable zones and newly adapted behaviors among the penguins themselves. Some colonies have relocated inland slightly, adjusting to subtle terrain changes. Others have shifted their breeding timelines by a few days, likely a natural response to seasonal warming. One major factor helping them, the expansion of protected zones. Several international conservation groups have worked to establish ice shelf sanctuaries that limit human interference, shipping, and overfishing. These safe areas seem to be giving penguins just enough space and time to adapt. It's not a full reversal of climate trends, far from it, but it shows us something powerful. Nature has resilience, especially when we give it room to breathe. Stay with us, because next we re-traveling from the icy south to a buzzing global hub, and a record-breaking travel surge you'll want to hear. It's official, the world is packing its bags again. This past weekend marked the busiest stretch for global travel since before the pandemic, with airports from Atlanta to Tokyo reporting passenger volumes not seen since 2019. In the US alone, the TSA screened over 2.8 million travelers in a single day, setting a new post-COVID record. But this surge isn't just about vacation season. Travel experts point to three major trends fueling this boom. First, there's pent-up demand. People who've postponed trips for years are finally following through. Second, AI-powered travel tools like personalized itinerary apps and smart budget planners are making it easier than ever to book with confidence. And third, global events and festivals, from cultural expos to concerts and sporting events, are drawing record attendance worldwide. Even airlines are adjusting. Major carriers have added flexible ticketing options, ramped up staffing, and reintroduced long-haul routes to meet the rising tide. Hotels in key cities like Paris, New York, and Seoul are nearing full capacity for summer. And travel influencers report massive engagement spikes on platforms like TikTok and Instagram. It's not just a return to normal, it's a reimagination of how we move. The world feels open again, and people are embracing it. Coming up next, a look at the world of sports and entertainment, and why fans of one rising league may be tuning out. When the United Football League launched earlier this year, a merger between the XFL and USFL sports fans were curious. Could this become a serious spring football alternative to the NFL, with big-name coaches, national TV slots, and flashy branding? The UFL promised fast-paced games, player-mixed moments, and a new generation of stars. But now, halfway through its inaugural season, the numbers tell a more complicated story. Analysts point to several factors: lack of team identity, limited marketing beyond hardcore football circles, and direct competition with NBA playoffs and other major events. Even though individual games have been competitive, few viral moments or breakout players have captured widespread attention. Still, insiders say this isn't a death sentence. The UFL is experimenting, learning, and adjusting, and there's still strong engagement in key cities like St. Louis and Birmingham. If they can build storylines, foster local loyalty, and tap into younger audiences, this dip could be just a growing pain. Next up, let's shift gears to the future of gaming and why this week's biggest tech showcase might have just previewed 2026's most addictive titles. Gamers around the world just got their first look at what's coming next, and if the Summer Game Fest 2025 is any indication, The future of interactive entertainment is bold, cinematic, and deeply immersive. This year's Digital First showcase dropped trailer after trailer of blockbuster titles, indie surprises, and even teasers for new gaming hardware. Among the biggest reveals, Resident Evil Requiem, a haunting continuation of the franchise set in a post-BioWeapon Europe. Fans also went wild over extended gameplay for Death Stranding 2, featuring next-gen visuals and a more open sandbox-style world. Fighting game lovers were treated to new mechanics in Street Fighter 6, while Mortal Shell 2 stunned with its brutal tone and fluid combat system. But it wasn't just software. Hardware announcements like the ROG Ally 2 handheld and whispers of Valve's Descartes VR system hinted at the direction gaming is heading. Mobile, modular, and indie developers also got their moment, with titles like Whispers of the Forest and Solar Drift gaining traction for their emotional storytelling and unique art styles. This isn't just entertainment, it's cultural momentum, with millions watching live, creators sharing reaction streams, and game trailers trending globally. Summer Game Fest proved once again that gaming is a major driver of innovation, connection, and creativity. Final thought: while the world faces challenges, stories like these show us the other side, where science, nature, play, and human potential continue to evolve. So, while headlines often drown in conflict and chaos, today we explored a different side of the story, one filled with breakthroughs, comebacks, and quiet revolutions. From brain interfaces to thriving bees, and from penguins in Antarctica to the future of gaming. The world is moving in ways that deserve to be noticed. If even one of these stories sparked your curiosity, gave you hope, or made you see the world a little differently, imagine what's coming next. That's exactly what we bring you here, every time. News that informs and uplifts. Let me know in the comments. Which story surprised you the most? If you enjoyed this update, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe and follow for more, so you never miss the good stuff happening around the globe. Thanks for watching now, and noted now. See you in the next update, where the news makes you think.